Hi Kirsty, how you doing?
Well,
You're from the US, you're looking a bit nervous, but it's fine. You do an awful lot of work in sargassum and how to implement solutions to remove sargassum at source, you were telling me.
Yes.
Tell me more.
so we're looking to remove sargassum at large scales. So it's coming in now at very large scales with a 55% increase this year. So 11 million extra tons. And so we're proposing a way to harvest it that would be ship-based, that we could actually harvest 1 million tons a year per ship. We're talking about oil tankers. And we would be processing it on ship, making a biocrude that you can upgrade to a renewable diesel. You could upgrade it to SAF. There's all sorts of different ways that the molecules it could become at the very end. But in the near term, we're talking about doing this so that it can be at scale, so that it can really address the public health issues, all of the different issues that are coming in.
What is the biggest problem to implement that? What's the biggest problem to implement that?
It's finding ships and retrofitting them. So it's
retrofitting ships
and finding the checks to buy the ships. But once the ships are bought and retrofitted, then it has a positive.
The process
ROI.
works. Like the process has been road tested probably at scale at smaller models or whatever.
Yes.
So you're extracting the sargassum from the sea. It's dragged up on a board, processed in some kind of factory type setting, and crude oil is the result.
Yes,
the crude,
you're
as you
basically
mentioned.
using a giant pressure cooker, and so you're able to. It's not processing like anaerobic digestion. That would be 30 days, 45 days. You're doing it like a pressure cooker. So you put it in, it goes in wet. You have nothing they have to do to it in terms of pre-treating it in that sense. It's pressure cooking, and an hour later you've got your oils and you're separating it. We do plan on having an extra process where we can basically do a demineralization step, where you're also making sure that you're starting to extract the arsenic, because it's high in arsenic.
Toxic.
And that's what's keeping it from being a good biofertilizer for a lot of folks. So what we want is at the end you have your biocrude, and you also have your fertilizer that you don't have to do an additional treatment step to.
That's probably enough for now. There's an awful lot of information. I really hope that can work. We would have to retrofit an awful lot of things because we're not currently, the infrastructure and the industry is not set up to use this crude as it comes. Like if we were able to manage to make all this gas, we still face the problem of having to retrofit all the current and existing diesel engines to go into green carbon as regards transport and whatnot. Is that part of the problem, part of the solution?
No. Once you've refined it, so once it comes off of the ship, it's going to go to a refinery.
Okay.
The refinery is going to treat it just like they would any crude. That within reason, they have to basically take what you bring in and get it to spec of whatever the end product is that they're going to refine it to, and then that diesel could be swapped out for the same diesel that they're bringing in right now that's fossil.
Okay.
And we can hit 30% with the amount of sargassum that's coming in right now, which is about 25-30% of the total out in the ocean. If you converted that to the renewable diesel, you would have about 30% of what the islands are using currently.
So it's a real solution that's there if you can only finance it and harness it, the global financing that we talked about.
And if you work that into somebody's larger renewable energy transition, if they still had 30% of their grid focusing on diesel, you're going to have a really nice, reliable grid that you could also be 100% renewable at that point, with still having some use of your diesel engines and things, at least for as long as their lifetime is there before you.
Thanks for telling Kirsty from Maryland. Thank you very much for that. Okay, really appreciate it. Thanks for.